A man was using the bathroom in the middle of a desert when he accidentally stumbled upon a shiny, golden-colored rock. Curious, he moved closer and thought it looked like gold. He glanced over at the driver, who was not far away. After some hesitation, he called him over. The driver, excited, pulled out his lighter to test the metal. Sure enough, it was gold. The two of them started digging, but the more they dug, the bigger the gold chunk appeared. They tried to move it, but it was way too heavy. Then the driver came up with an idea. One of them would stay behind to guard the gold, while the other would head back to get an excavator. The driver suggested that the man stay behind, since he knew exactly where to find the machine. That made the man nervous. If the driver didn't return in time, he could die of thirst. Worse yet, he feared the driver might come back with others and take the gold for himself. The driver noticed his concern. He promised to return within 5 days. The man didn't respond. Then the driver offered to stay instead, but deep down, they both knew the man was unfamiliar with the area. After thinking it over, the man finally agreed to stay and guard the gold. At sunrise, the driver handed most of their supplies to the man. Then he drove off, worried that someone might discover the gold. The man reburied the pit after the driver left. One day, he saw a flash in the distance, possibly someone approaching. He quickly covered the gold with rocks and moved to a different location with his gear. Unexpectedly, he stumbled upon the wreckage of a crashed airplane. After inspecting it, he decided to turn it into a shelter, but it was too far from the gold. So he began dismantling parts of the aircraft and carried the materials back to where the gold was buried. He started building a basic shelter, even leaving a small window so he could always keep an eye on the treasure. The harsh desert conditions took a toll on his mental state, but whenever he looked at the gleaming gold beside him, a smile crept back onto his face. One day, he broke off a small piece of gold with his bare hands. Just then, the driver called via satellite phone. He said it might take a few more days to return, in order to get the driver to come back as soon as possible. The man told him about the piece of gold he had just broken off. "I want to get out of here as soon as possible." But the driver wasn't satisfied with just a piece. What he wants is all the gold. So the man had no choice but to keep guarding the giant gold nugget. Tornadoes swept through the area, one after another. Worried his shelter might get torn apart, he returned to the airplane wreckage to look for more materials. Suddenly, he saw someone in the distance. He panicked and hid inside the wreckage. A woman was approaching, but she ignored him and headed straight for his shelter. Desperate, he called out to her. The woman had already spotted his shelter earlier and wanted to know what he was hiding. Now the man had to figure out how to deal with this mysterious stranger.